Hey everybody, it's David and Julie, and on this week's episode of our Did You Know show, we're giving you a pop quiz.
We are here to see if you can define 4 key terms in today's housing market. If you cannot, no worries, we're here to help you with that. The first term is affordability. The definition of that is a measure of whether someone earns enough to qualify for a loan on a typical home based on the most recent price and income data.
So speaking of home affordability, let's take a look at the Home Affordability Index, which is an index put out by the National Association of Realtors. Here you can see on the chart that the current level of a home affordability is at 158, which the higher the number, the better. It's gone down in the last couple of years as prices have risen. And as you can see, during the distressed dominated years, home affordability reached its peak. But compared to the 90s and the early 2000s, homes are more affordable now than back then, and that has a lot to do with interest rates.
The second key term in our pop quiz today is appraisal. An appraisal is a report highlighting the estimated value of the property completed by a qualified third party.
Yeah, and appraisals are needed each and every time a home is purchased using a loan. So lenders rely on appraisals to validate the home's value and ensure they're not lending more than what the house is worth. All right, and the third term in today's pop quiz is contingency. You know, contingency is a provision in the contract or the offer requiring certain acts to be completed. Julie, what's an example of a contingency?
Yeah, in a typical offer, you're looking at 3 main contingencies, inspection, appraisal, and loan. And there's a default time frame that's written in the contract that can be adjusted. In today's market, which is quite competitive, you are seeing some people shorten that time frame or even remove it altogether.
That's right. For example, in a default time frame, the appraisal is typically done in the first 17 days. So that contingency remains in place until the appraisal is done. Those contingencies are there for one main reason. It's to protect the buyer's deposit until those contingencies are no longer valid.
Our fourth and final key term today is equity, and the definition of equity is the value in your home above the total amount of liens against your home. So that's what you owe. It could be a first mortgage and second mortgage, something of that nature.
With the current home appreciation we've seen in the last 12 months and even beyond that, many homeowners are finding that they have more equity than they thought, and a lot of them are using it to tap in to access that equity to make home improvements and or sell the house and move up to something much bigger and better.
That is it for today's Did You Know show. Please let us know how you did on our pop quiz. We would love to hear from you. And if you have any other questions related to real estate and our local market, don't hesitate to reach out.
Our Did You Know show comes out each and every Tuesday on Facebook and YouTube. And if you've made it this far, please give us a like down below and hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube to see further Did You Know episodes. Thanks so much for watching.